Hello and welcome to the 50th Rochester Mineralogical Symposium. I am so glad you're on for this weekend. We have a great weekend coming up. These are great talks and great speakers. It'll be great to catch up together on the wonder.me platform after tonight's talk and again tomorrow after the talks to be able to catch up with all of you and have a little bit of fun too. I don't have a lot of things that I'd like to say for the opening slides this year. I'm going to keep them pretty short. Of course, I'd like to declare the 50th Rochester Symposium open. If you'd like to know a little bit more about what's in this particular opening slide, for the one at upper right, you'll have to tune in for Sunday at noon. And below, those three photographs are part of Jeff Scoville's What's New in Minerals. So tune into that tomorrow morning at 11. One more thing, for those either if you've been part of the symposium or if you have not and are interested in the symposium, I've worked with many people to synthesize and present what the Rochester Symposium has been over the last 50 years and has meant over the last 50 years. And that talk will be Sunday at noon, and I sure hope you'll be on for it. I just want to highlight the cover of the program notes for the 50th symposium by Susan Robinson. Of course, she's done them all since the 12th symposium. She felt it was important for the 50th to tip a cap to the collectors who bring mineral specimens out of the ground, because without them, we'd sure have a lot fewer to enjoy.
Oops, that's not good.
Here's just a quick overview of the weekend. This evening, we're going to hear a great talk on the Sudbury Basin from Dave Joyce. And after that, we will gather and catch up with one another in the virtual lounge on the wonder.me platform. I'll tell you about that at the end. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start off at 11 a.m. with What's New 1, 2, and What's New from New Mexico with Jeff Scoville, John Betts, and John Rackavan. We'll have featured talks from Les Pressmick on the New Cornelia mine and Fritz Moritz on Haddam, Connecticut. Then we'll have the technical session, the short talks, and the virtual lounge again after the talks tomorrow afternoon. Sunday, starting at 11 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have a great talk on Sir Arthur Russell and his mineral collection from Roy Starkey. And then I'm going to wrap things up, as I mentioned, with the 50-year talk on the symposium. You know, when we first did these things online, it was new, and now this is all household stuff and people do it in their sleep. But for the benefit of those who do not do Zoom every day, and I'm actually somebody included in that, you guys are going to have to hold on to your hats this weekend and hope I don't screw anything up. But for the benefit of those who might like a little bit of a refresher of features, just so everyone participates in the chat and gets the Q&A, I'm just going to put a few slides here. Okay, so just a couple of things to remember about how to access the chat and the Q&A. So first, you want to hover your mouse or cursor at the bottom there where the red arrow is pointing. Chat is there on the left and Q&A is on the right. The chat feature is the most important. It gives Rochester Online its personality, and I'm sure it'll be active this weekend. So some of it's very good fun and some good humor in the chat. So if you open it there by clicking down where the arrow number 1 is, it'll open on the right-hand side. You can keep it open. You'll see people will add comments, and you, of course, can add comments as well. I should note where arrow 3 is there, to make sure that your comment is going to everybody and not just to the panelists. You want to change that option. So you click in there and go to all panelists and attendees. And just remember, everything you write is going to be seen by everybody. To ask a question, you can click on the Q&A icon where the number 1 arrow is down there. And when it opens, you can click and drag that box out of the way so you can still see the slides. Go ahead and type in your question and send it. You can then keep the window open if you like, or you can close, whatever you prefer. From there, one of the hosts will coordinate questions up to the speaker. One further thing about Q&A, about the questions, is that you can like or comment on someone else's question. And when you like it, it shows the hosts that the question is of interest to more than one person. And just lastly, we're not using the raise hand function for the symposium, so just ignore that icon. This year, we're going to click on a link that's going to take us into the virtual lounge, and this is it on a nice Heliodor background. I'll explain more about it after the talk, but I just wanted to introduce what it looks like and explain that what we have is the virtual lounge essentially has rooms and hallways, kind of like the fourth floor in the dealer rooms, and you can talk in a circle out in a hallway, or you can talk in a group inside a room. You can move in and out freely. There's a cool feature to help you find your friends. Of course, bring a glass of your favorite beverage. So it's a cool platform and we're really excited about it. Just a quick word about where the program notes, abstracts, and recordings will be after this weekend is over. The program notes with abstracts will be posted on the symposium webpage, the mineral section of the Rochester Academy of Science. The abstracts will be published as they have been every year in Rocks and Minerals magazine. And the recordings of the talks will be posted on our Rochester Mineralogical Symposium channel on YouTube, same as we've done for the last 3 years. And if you tune in on Sunday, I'm going to speak a little bit more about the future and where you'll be able to find the program notes and some videos from past talks at the symposium. And 2 things. First, I'd like to give you fair warning and ask your patience. The Zoom presentations are all being run from my computer this year. I am not a professional Zoom presenter. I have had help from John and Carol in setting everything up, and John, Carolyn, Carl, and Chris will be co-hosts to rescue me if I screw anything up, but just wanted to mention that in advance. One other thing to mention in advance is that just to remind you that the same as every year, the talks are pre-recorded, and that's just to avoid the possibility of massive technical disaster in the middle of the symposium while it's running. So if you see somebody showing up in the chat while something is being discussed on screen, that's why. And so with that, again, a very, very warm welcome. Sit back, enjoy great talks and good times with friends at the Rochester Mineralogical Symposium this weekend.